Welcome to turning a moment into a movement.
Light up. This little light of mine, I'm gon' let it shine. I'm gon' let it shine. This little light of mine, this little light of mine, I'm gon' let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gon' let it shine. I'm gon' let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gon' let it shine. I'm gon' let it shine. Oh Lord, just let it shine. This light of mine, this light of mine. Oh Lord, would you please just let it shine. Take the drama out of my life. Oh Lord, every night the pain ain't right. I wake up at night, I never sleep. 26, 10, and 7, that's just me. Every day I need a little seed. I need a little fresh air, man, I need to breathe. All I know is trauma, all I know is tickets. All I know is no visit. All I know is a mission to get straight up out of prison. Lord have mercy for me. Lord have mercy on my people. Preacher Mary Washington and all my real. Lord have mercy with my people. I pray to God, we really need you. When I was down bad, when things weren't going right, every time I prayed at night, I put my hands up in my face. I said, Lord have mercy, little light of mine. Lord God, please let it shine. It's the drama that I live in my life. I swear to God, I was a bad guy every night. 10 toes down, salute. Everybody suffering, everybody who trying to make a way. Everybody looking for the sky, everybody looking for that piece of pie. In a law library, I know what that feel like. Hoping that somebody get active and involved in your situation. Man, pop your collar and pray. Cause Lord have mercy on my soul. And they make bad guy father get out soon. And the rest of those brothers who be mobbing to child each morning. Oh man, I ain't going to this afternoon. Man, I'ma miss dinner today. I got a couple of noodles. You know what that feel like? Yeah, you know what it is. And if you a victim of a wrongful conviction, suffered and served by Ken Worthy, then I know that you know what that pain feel like. And your mama know what that pain feel like. Your father know what that pain feel like. With that light, let that little shine. Let that light shine, a little light of mine. Bad guy, Doughboy Week, all these great people in this great world of ours. 10 toes down, salute. I appreciate you, bad guy. I appreciate you, Week. I appreciate the tech. I appreciate everybody in the studio. We gonna pop off that LV, ooh-wee, cause that's what they be liking to see. But I hope you hear the missing when you see me fresh. Salute.
Greetings, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight for turning a moment into a movement. I am your host, J Love, and I also represent the Justice for Gerard movement. And Gerard is why we come here every Friday at 8:30 because of that journey with him. I created this platform to empower our listeners to stand up for those who've been wrongly incarcerated and those who are dealing with injustice. So thank you for joining us tonight. I'm glad that you're here, and I look forward to this conversation with you and with our guests. So our mission here at Turn a Moment into a Movement is to bring awareness to all that are impacted from being wrongly convicted, overly sentenced, mentally ill, and medically frail in our community, to inspire, organize, and educate all communities about the needs to disrupt systems, policies, and patterns of the criminal legal system that leads to wrongful conviction. So thank you for joining us. And I want to also say thank you for those that are watching us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Hey, everyone. And those who might listen to us later. We appreciate you for supporting us. And go to our YouTube page and subscribe, because with all the craziness in the world, we don't know if we're gonna, how long we're gonna be on like Facebook or or these platforms. But we know we're gonna be on YouTube, and all of our videos are on YouTube. So go there and subscribe, and you'll be notified every time we go live. So now I got that out of the way. I want to bring on Trisha. Hey, Trisha.
Hey, family. How y'all doing? Jay, how you doing?
Yes, I'm tired.
Yeah, I am extremely tired, but blessed and grateful. My name is Trisha Duckworth. I'm the executive director of Survivor Speak. Just really feeling grateful for the spirit of stick-to-itness, right? Because stick-to-itiveness, right? Because if you have that kind of spirit, no matter what you're going through, you will just keep pushing through. Now, you must rest, because that is very important too, right? For us to make sure that we are resting our bodies and refreshing our bodies. But, the mission remains the same, and that's to stand 10 toes down, no matter what that mission is at that time. And we have been doing that this past week, in having the informational rally for Crystal Clark. And then also following up with the community conversation. So we just want to take the time to thank everybody who came out to the community conversation. And even want to thank CBS News for airing the story. Want to thank Jay Love for facilitating and also turning the moment into a movement for going live. And just thank all the sponsors, everybody. But most of all, can't forget Michelle, Chantil. Thank everybody who was a part, because I don't want to miss anybody's name. Thank everybody who was a part, all the orgs that was there, the students, project community. But the biggest thank you and shout out for the night would be for Crystal, because Crystal set the moment on fire. I mean, it was just her strength, phenomenal strength to just stand in her truth and tell her story. Like, I've never heard her tell it before. And so just shout out to Crystal, because at the end of the day, she is the one that has to go through everything that she goes through over and over again, facing this injustice inside the horrific Women's Huron Valley Prison. And we will never stop exposing you, because even when Crystal comes home, until it's burned down to the ground, until the women are somewhere else safe, we will not stop. So thank you all. I'm happy to be here tonight with our guest. Oh my goodness, just so excited about that. Oh yay, and we just got $100 donation for Crystal that came through. So that's another thing. We do have a donation link that is on Crystal's page, because at the end of the day, the fight still continues, right? We're fighting to bring her home, but she's still there. So we need to be able to get her services, get her some things that she needs while she's there too. So thank you to whoever sent the donation. Blessings to you. And we just ask everybody to open your hearts and be there for her as well. So.
Yes, and I'm glad you brought that up, because I want to, and thank you, Leslie, I want to play the video from CBS. Thank you, CBS, for being there.
Yes.
Right quick, just for those who missed it.
Community leaders gathered in Ann Arbor tonight. They want to bring attention to some claims of inexcusable conditions inside of the women's prison.
Former inmates spoke out, saying they were exposed to dirty drinking water and bugs in their food. As CBS News Detroit's Terrell Bailey found out, this isn't the first time unsanitary conditions have been brought to light.
It's alleged the Women's Huron Valley Correctional Facility is dealing with a severe case of black mold, and some say it's a situation we all need to be involved in. From state representatives to students to everyday citizens, many joined Wednesday's community conversation about the Women's Huron Valley Correctional Facility. Thousands are housed there, and tonight's conversation involved the prison's overall condition. Crystal Clark has been an inmate at Huron Valley for over a decade. She says since then, from vision issues to paralysis, her health has declined significantly.
Drinking molded
This isn't the first time attention has been brought to the prison. In 2019, a class action lawsuit was filed against the Michigan Department of Corrections. It was eventually dismissed. Then an amended complaint was filed, which is still in litigation.
The MDOC budget is the only budget in the state of Michigan that's solely funded by state of Michigan taxpayers.
Former inmates of the facility spoke during the conversation. They say they've tried to rally for change, but nothing's happened.
I was having issues prior to coming to prison, and even with medical records sent and everything, it's like you go there and they tell you to drink water, take ibuprofen.
Tonight's meeting proved to be an eye-opening experience for participants.
You may hear some very horrific things, and we don't want to trigger anyone. What we want to do is inspire you to action.
Now, we reached out to the Michigan Department of Corrections to get their response to the allegations. We have yet to hear back. In Ann Arbor, Terrell Bailey, CBS News, Detroit.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, Crystal set that moment so strongly. And we pray her voice just continues to ring louder and louder.
Yes. Bring on Leslie. Hey, Leslie.
Hello. Yeah, I'm still metabolizing everything.
Yeah.
That was a big moment. And so as the mom of an inmate, it was hard to hear because it's always hard to hear about things that happen in the prisons because my son is a quiet person. And so he goes through things and don't always talk about it, but I can tell stuff is different. He was recently moved farther away from me, so I can't get to him easily. And I just can tell, on our calls that he's going through something. And, I hate to use that saying, all I can do is pray, but literally that's how I feel like that's all I can do right now is pray that he doesn't have maggots in his food or some of the other horrific things I've heard about the facility where he's at. And they haven't been able to fix the video call. So all I can do is talk to him on the phone when he calls. So anyhow, I also wanted to say that I'm Leslie and I'm tired, but I always say I'm too tired, but when I get on here, I get hyped up. So this gives me energy to feel like things are, moving, like we're, Crystal has been as much of a blessing to us as I feel like we've tried to be to her. She is in grave situations every day, but she continues. Every day she wakes up and think about the next plan and what she can do to better her situation for others like her at the women's prison. And so I find a lot of inspiration from her and from others in the fight. And I'm excited to learn about what's going on with the water situation in Detroit. I am new to this organization and to Demeeko Williams, but I've been reading, finding what I could do on Google, in the words of Nicki Minaj, she said, if you don't know about me, Google me. And so that's what I did about Demeeko.
Yes. Thank you, Leslie. Hey, Ravitia.
Well, hello there. I'm so glad to be here tonight. So glad to be with my sisters and feeling very motivated after Wednesday. And also appreciating each and every gift. I don't think people realize the giftings that we have here with all of us and working together. And we are not all the same.
Mm-hmm.
What I appreciate is that each of us comes with our gifts, our talents, wherever we can get in, we fit in and do whatever it takes. And I think I want our listeners to know today that it's that kind of stick-to-itness that has helped us has helped us get to where we are, be able to have that information going across so that millions can see and expose what is happening at those levels. So I'm coming to you from the choice zone where your choice matters. I believe choice matters in all of our lives. And that when we don't have choice and when we don't have and not able to make just day to day the decisions that for us that impact us, then we need to realize that we may be in a position that is inhumane. And when I think about Crystal, and that's what helps me to keep going, is that she keeps going
Yeah.
beyond all of it, and to hear her cry and to hear her voice and to see her family. It's different when somebody's just putting a number on you. Well, this is just how many people we have incarcerated instead of in actuality, this is a family. This is a whole family. These are children and grandchildren. These are sons and daughters. This is a son who didn't get a chance to be held and touched by his mom. And I think that put it, together. I just want to say thank you, Jay. Thank you, Trisha. Thank you, Leslie, for what you do in the community on a day to day. This isn't just for this, but this is for every day. Thank you for your beingness. And look, I gotta tell y'all, when these people come to bat for you, you are definitely supported. Thank you, Trisha. You have supported me, and I feel it, and I appreciate you. You have to, Jay and Leslie. But when you have an opportunity and you see that come through, and you feel the weight lift off of you because somebody had your back, I'm like, thank you. Thank you so much. And I believe that's what we do when we come together and when we fight for these rights. We get in the back of somebody else who can't fight.
Yeah.
And I pray that all of us continue that effort, and those who are listening, that you join into. Thank you so much. It's wonderful to be here tonight.
Yeah. Thank you, Reverend Tia. So, just for the viewers or the listeners who ever listen later, and we have been doing a series since we came back in February, and we've been focused on Black Liberation and Abolition movement. And so tonight, we are so honored to bring on our special guest, Demeeko Williams, the founder and chief director of Hydrate Detroit. And this conversation tonight is going to be centered on the policies, the radicalized policies of water shutoffs and the criminalization of poverty in our community and Detroit, actually. And Detroit is our community. So in Detroit. And so without any more delay, I want to bring on Demeeko Williams. Yay!
Hello, everybody. Good, happy Friday, happy Easter, and happy WrestleMania WWE weekend to all who celebrate.
Demeeko, my son Gerard love the WWF. I would be like, boy, you come here watching wrestling.
Rest in power. Yeah, he would be a fan right about now because WWE is white hot as coals right now. It's the only thing. If you let out your aggression and to channel away from all the things we have to deal with in our world, and they also have some learning lessons as well. But I mean, I'm just with the pageantry of wrestling and also the messages of never give up. You got to have grit and you got to fight another day. That's why I'm I'm a fan right now.
Yes, he loved it. I mean, my dad used to watch it, so I remember watching it as a kid. And then Gerard, I guess he picked up on it. And he just was like WWE crazy.
That's good.
He was working out and all kinds of stuff. He was really into it.
It really inspires you, to be the best and also, it gives you some good lessons as well. Rest in power to Gerard, for surely.
Yeah, yes, we love Gerard.
I just want to say thank you all for sharing the story of Crystal Clark. I am deeply affected as well. I hope there was something we can do to break her out of those chains of Guantanamo. It's terrible that the Michigan prison system still is unnoticed by these officials to clean it up and to get rid of some of the corruption in there. It's just terrible to hear about this. I want to say prayers for Crystal Clark, and hopefully prayers to the movement to highlight her story, and for others that are in her situation, that are in worse, and they're not getting any attention, any press, no social media, or not even a dove, to call our help, for their injustice. It's just terrible. Thank you so much for sharing this story.
Yeah, it's really horrific. So, Demeeko, I'm like a fan of you
I'm a fan of
because
you too, J Love. Thank you for having me on your show, and thank you to the panel. I listen in from time to time. It's truly insightful and educational. Thank you all for what you're doing to keep these issues at the heart of Bay.
yeah, thank you. I know when you and Beulah, I used to watch y'all all the time. And then, when I was down there with Sam, and just you guys are really powerful about that water. Um, I just want to ask, my first question to you is, when did you start this? Why did how did you guys get together and start Hydrate Detroit? I remember following you and Joanne and just watching how you guys was getting in trouble with good trouble. On
Yes.
your journey with the water. So for those who don't know about you, tell us how that whole thing with Hydrate Detroit and advocating for the citizens of Detroit about the water.
Yes. Well, first of all, I've been a born and raised Detroiter all my life. I graduated here from Northern High School, class of 2003, and I've also graduated Wayne County Community College debt free. I also have, a degree, in marketing and retail. Uh, when 2012, 2013, the city of Detroit was going through an emergency management and bankruptcy. And then they were talking about shutting off the water. They implemented this emergency manager who's unethical, illegal, and also unappointed. I look at the same situation with Donald Trump and Elon Musk right now. That's what's happening to the city of Detroit. And the first thing they wanted is the water. We've been told all this time by our former mayor, Coleman Alexander Young, the Honorable Coleman Alexander Young, to protect the water at all costs. This is our crown jewel. And they had the bankruptcy, and it was a false, contrived, man-made bankruptcy that took away our assets, that cashed in on the pensions, and also privatized certain assets. And the water was made regionally by the suburbs. Ever since then, the suburbs has always had a say, but they've always hiked the water prices. And now Republican influence and hypocrisy has entered into the fray, causing everybody to go through problems. So when I first started, we first started, delivering water. We were with the Detroit Water Brigade. I was the political director. Beulah was the volunteer coordinator. And we delivered water. We paid people water bills. We were taking people to the water and sewage department. During 2014, the city had a big moratorium, and it also had a bankruptcy. In the bankruptcy decision, the judge said that we have no human right to water constitutionally. And so ever since then, we started Hydrate Detroit. Myself and Beulah Walker, we started that to provide education, to provide more opportunities, and to also have a more volunteer educational arm with the political motive for Hydrate Detroit. So 10 years. 10 years we've been rocking hard, and we have not stopped. We're fighting water rates, we're fighting um, shutoffs. We're also trying to implement policy to make it fair for Detroiters. And now we have to go throughout the region and throughout the state. That's over 150 municipalities and communities within the water system of Detroit that we own and operate. Well, ever since the GLWA, the Great Lakes Regional Water Authority, took over in 2014 to 2015, it has not been the same. We have had floods, we have had basements and other, infrastructure that have been breaking, and we have not been taken care of and compensated. You must have heard of Southwest Detroit when they had their pipes and their furnaces and homes fixed and such. Well, what about the other neighborhoods that have been waiting for this and been waiting since 2014, 2016, 2020, 2021, 2022, and they have not gotten any justice? So, you know what I'm saying? That's who we fight for. We fight for the downtrodden, the poor, those that don't have a voice, and those that have had multiple chance or even so much as no reprieve. You know what I'm saying? We give advice to people that are buying homes and such, but not to buy land bank homes. We're opposed to the Detroit Land Bank and opposed to scumlords and slumdog millionaires doing 80-20 and putting tenants in houses and apartments, and they're not paying the water bills or the property taxes or responsibilities. It turned into a lot. I mean, I lost track of how many people we've helped. Beulah lost track because we come into so many people that have so many problems. The water was the one thing that broke the whole camel's back. People have been suffering through DTE, through property tax overtaxation and others issues and situations. But the water is most important. Water is an essential human right. We make it so. Water is an essential human right. And I've been telling people, this is the only place, we don't have any environmental justice groups that's actually getting in the face of these officials and making them do the work that they are tasked to do.
So people were literally losing their homes because they couldn't afford their water bills.
Yes, if you let your now if you usually we let the unpaid water bill roll on our property taxes and we'll cash it out. But now you can't do that. It's separate. They separated the property tax from the water bill. You must pay the water bill. And a lot of people have lost their homes due to a high water bill. We help people with over $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, $5,000 debt. My highest bill was $20,000. Beulah worked on a case that had more, and she was able to get the whole plumbing and everything fixed. We have a lot of connections with organizations and resources. I was thankful to work for Detroit Public Schools as an intern and to maintain some of the relationships that I've garnered, including those when I've formerly worked for the city. And we just been through a whole 10 years. We're still fighting, but it's not as bad as where people have fought and they had nothing to show for it. We have everything to show for it. We had 4 moratoriums. We also had a big shut-off stoppage during the COVID pandemic. And even when we came back from the COVID pandemic, we had ARPA funds that cashed out people water bills. I've been screaming for water amnesty in the city of Detroit. $45 million cleared off the homes and tax rolls of Detroiters, period. And those people are zeroed out. But we still have those that are in a situation and have not been able to get those savings. So we're working hard to ensure more Detroiters through the availability of the federal funding and such that they give the water department in order to make make sure people are whole on their water bills.
Wow. Leslie, go ahead. She had a question.
Yeah, I did. So what is a land? You mentioned, I'm going back a couple paragraphs. What is a land bank? Can you explain that?
Oh yes, the land bank is a collection of properties the city has in its database that are abandoned and vacant, and they are reselling those homes or making them available to you, Leslie, for $100 a lot or $500 up to $1,000. You could buy a property for a little to less than $1,000, and you can fix it up and you can live in it, right? But you have to bring it up to code. You have to bring it up to certain permits and licensing and things of that nature in a short period of time. The land bank has had delinquency of water bills and property taxes and liens and such. And they've been sitting there abandoned. Banks, Wayne County foreclosure, they're all in bed with each other. So I'm just trying to give you a synopsis that the land bank are homes that were collected, that were seized, or that been sitting there abandoned, and the city took ownership of it, and now they're selling it to you for $1,000 to buy. The problem is they don't give you the whole entire um, if you hadn't done your research, and we have many people trying to do HGTV flip my house type
Yeah.
projects, and it's not easy as you think it is. You know what I'm saying? Because
Right.
they cost more than what you put into it, and it's also showing unfavorable among the speculators, outside investors versus you and I. If we're Detroit citizens and residents and we want to have a place to borrow, so we want to invest in our own city. So the land bank basically, at first it started out as a good idea of a good opportunity, but in the long run, or however, it was made to fail, and it was also used to benefit land sharking and money laundering through the actual municipal government of different entities, corporations, and people who represent, such as a Dan Gilbert or the gentleman that's currently having his castle taken in the city of
Yes.
Detroit.
Okay. That's what Trisha was mentioning. Yeah, I don't know about this East Side Mansion.
Oh yeah,
yes.
that's been a whole thing.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh at other people, but let me just be honest with you. I know the gentleman that has owned the castle, and due to my personal grievances along with the situation, I don't want to laugh and be wagging my finger, I told you so, to Detroiters and my own neighbors, but this is a wagging your finger and I told you so, that the man should have done what he was supposed to do. He owned 5 parcels, 5 on that castle, and he'd been building that castle while the city was in bankruptcy and in emergency management. He took advantage when the city was down and out. And when Mike Duggan, the mayor, was being elected, the first term of mayorship of the city of Detroit, that gentleman had used racial epithets, remarks towards the grassroots that were very inappropriate, disrespectful, and unworthy of, his trust or anything to, represent him in this type of ordeal. I'm sorry this is happening, but I've been silent long enough to finally the water department said this this past week that the gentleman had been warned, and he was the last on the list of the people that owe $5,000 or more in unpaid water bills. They have been going after corporations. They have been going after, big, large number, acquisitions and such. But when they got to the end of the list, he was on that list. Now, I have argued with the mayor and such because they want to accuse me of representing people that live in castles and mansions. I do not represent people that live in castles and mansions. But however, those people in castles and mansions, they should have due process. just as much as Mike Ilitch, just as much as Dan Gilbert and others that should be standing in the line at 735 Randolph to pay on the payment plan and to get on Easy Pay that's waived for $10. So I just want to say that, you know, as much as we fight with the water department and such, sometimes we got to be fair. You know, we got to be fair to everybody. You know what I'm saying? If you have been paying on your water bill, you would not have that situation happen. But then when I think of a situation, I mean, you know what I'm saying? The mom with the with the kids that were killed in the car. She didn't have no home. She didn't have nowhere to go, and it's like that in the city of Detroit. I just want to say that, you know, it could be from you being in a scumlord house that put your name on the water bill as a tenant, and they weren't supposed to. Landlords are not supposed to put tenant's name on the water bill. However, they do it in the water department, collect the debt of the property, not the debt of the person, the debt of the property. And it falls on you. We fight through those issues. And I've been telling people all do your research, go to 400 Monroe, check the title, the deed, and also the land parcel. They should tell you all the FOIA. You should FOIA that information if you can. I know the city want to play games and charge you high fees, but you need to do that research before you sign your name on the dotted line for a land bank property or even for a foreclosed property, because they don't do those title checks, especially when you check with the water department, because they're not going to give you the information. But I just wanted to say, yes, Beulah Walker said, yeah, there's over 70% of homeless women and children in the city of Detroit. Most of them that got the water shut off and had to leave the home because they didn't want their children taken. And you got people out
don't you lose your kids for that?
Yes, and we're currently this has been a private project of mine, is to find missing Black women and children, but also find out how many CPS cases have there been of children removed from the home due to water shutoffs in an unstable home. And that is from Detroit Public Schools. That is information from the local authorities, even through the workers. I talk with DHS workers. I get in a conference with them every year to look at certain things and how to have compassion, empathy, and love to share with their clients. That's very difficult. Social workers and also psychiatrists. And it's very difficult. I mean, when you think about water and how could people be without water, and they're paying on the water bill. They ain't paying what you want them to pay, but they're paying on the water bill. They should be able to get, you know, a fair shake to keep their water services on and not be shut off unless they pay, you know, this rate of water. It's unacceptable, because Detroit had the lowest rates in the nation, and because of the inflation, the takeover, and also the privatization of certain water, we're paying for it, and we're paying for it out the price of our pockets.
I was gonna Revertia brought that up. She was having problems, so she had to pop off with her feed. But the criminalization of poverty, you know, what we start off in the beginning, you know, taking kids away. You are, you know, punishing parents because they're poor. And so even, you know, just this week, the man who supposedly jumped to his death at one of the prisons out there in Jackson. And, you know, upon our research, he was in there because of child support, you know. And so these things that constantly punishing people because they're poor or they can't pay. So it's a crime that you don't have water. You know, it's
also, you know, if it ain't one thing, it's another. It's like, you know, what we all share this one resource of water. So what are we going to do? Are we going to forgo our medication or the water bill? Are we going to forgo food, items for the kids and such, or the water bill? Last time, I mean, and they know it. They don't, that you don't want to pay your water bill, but that's not true. How they say it, you know what I'm saying? How we all, if we trying to fight DTE, they raise rates on all of us. I'm suffering right now, and you know, you get on the payment plan. You try to get on the payment plan. The payment plan is fixed. So this current payment plan with Easy Pay, I just want to say I worked hard on this Easy Pay program and covered all of the bases to where no one should be missing a bill payment, period, because they're coming out with a feature that you can use your Cash App, your Apple Pay, and Venmo to pay on your water bill, and it doesn't have to be all cash, money order, or check like they usually require. Also, you know what I'm saying, you have the ability, you know, so that you can't, you know, whenever you do get money, you can put down whatever. And if they waive the $10 fee and allow you to get on for the first month, that's amazing. You know what I mean? But also we want protection. We want protection to make sure people are not being shut off and will not be in the risk of shut off again. They cut off the lifeline enrollment because of federal funding being short. They cut off the lifeline from 60,000 people down to 28,000 people. That's getting the $18 water bill. You can't F up an $18 water bill, period.
Right.
And if you're paying the $18 water bill, you keep paying it. It'll go down. You know, you got people that have $5,000 worth of debt and they paying $18 water bill. Where they do that at? Where they do that
Mm-hmm.
at? And any other place, Atlanta, and you know, this model is becoming talked about across the nation. But I tell people the facts and the truth that, you know, although they want to implement a program like this, we have to make sure that it's fair and equitable for everybody. You can't have 100,000 people on a program and then you can't service those 100,000 people every year. You have to have a certain allocation. We're fighting for federal funding. We're fighting for state funding. We was this close about to get the state funding for water affordability, and it fell apart due to the Democrats, due to their inaction and ill leadership. So I don't want to, you know, I campaigned very hard. I talked with my state representatives. I worked hard with the majority leader, and they dropped the ball basically. So I mean, after that, we're just stuck. We're back at square one. I do feel a certain type of way, you know, all the work that we've done, and for these leaders that are paid by the taxpayers to represent and to push this through. And then the Democratic convention, I raised hell. J Love, I raised hell. Everybody got the business from me, and they were all making excuses. What excuses could you make to blame the black woman? You could blame one black. I'm not going to play those games.
Mm-hmm.
Let's blame Representative Karen Whitsitt. Let's blame the black woman. Let's blame the 56 to 60 Republicans that walked off the floor of the Michigan State Legislature and did not want to vote. I can't blame them. I can only blame the people that was tasked to represent us. And all of our dreams. Even there was a big thing with driver's license and immigration, prison reform. There were some big bills that was supposed to come down that pike at Christmas time, and they did not, because there was no quorum, there was no session. So that was the last. That was all of our dream. That was Detroit. All of the work that we've done for the past 14 to 20 years, even before me, with Michigan Welfare Rights, Maureen Taylor, Monica Lewis Patrick, We the People of Detroit, and other advocates, Isaac Robinson, gosh, a lot of people that have championed environmental justice, and it was right there at the ticket, and they didn't pass it.
Mm.
And now they tell me, I mean, so what the use of even going back and forth? You know, I'm trying to hold on. I'm trying to continue to fight. I'm trying to push through and, you know, not let this get to me. But ladies, to be honest, it has gotten to me because it has gotten to me because the sheer fact of people acting like this is not a big issue or this is not a number one, they should have picked this up from the get-go. And now they're having obstruction, but you're making excuses. You're not fighting for the people. You mean tell me you can't get Matt Hall down there and make him vote? Like, come on, there's too many rules and regulations. I'm tired of that. It's time to break those rules. Unjust laws should be broken when it comes to water affordability, when it comes to criminality. You know, it's illegal to turn on your own water, but I know people who do it. I don't never say anything, but you know what I'm saying? I don't blame you. You gotta have heat. You got to have warmth. You got to have water, because they're all supposed to be public human rights.
Yeah, I was going to say that. How is water? How is these things civil rights? Like, you want to make people pay all of these exorbitant prices and stuff. Because I was just listening to him talking about the water bill. I think it was like this year or the end of last year. They voted on increasing the water prices and everything. And I'm like, come on, the people are having a hard time paying the water bill right now. And so now you want to increase it on everybody across the board. Even out here where I live at, the water is just extremely.
Mhm.
And
Yes, and it's so funny because 27 communities across Western Wayne County said no, they're not paying. 11 communities inside Macomb County said no, and Wayne County especially said no. Detroiters said hell no. And we're not paying. And they continue to raise. I mean, they just do it without the care of the people. You know, you could go to their meetings and GLWA, and you could get a public comment. You could speak about everything and such, and they'll still do what they do. And it's sad because you're looking at all of these instances of the flood of Southwest Detroit, infrastructure problems. Why they got traffic blocked? Because they got these big old pipes and such they're putting in the street. It's crazy. And I just want to say that I had proposed back in 2016 to put together a workers and builders program. Beulah and I was going to start a workers and builders program. That's how she got into construction. She became one of the first female construction workers in the city of Detroit, excelling. That's Black women excellence. We tried to put a jobs and workers program for young men and women 16 to 39 years old to get a job in skilled trades and to work on these pipes. Instead of you seeing white boys and people that don't even look like us that live somewhere else, and we not getting the jobs. Do you know what Gary Brown told me? The director, he told me that they would have to have iron cards, and half of these people don't want to work because they want to smoke weed and blah blah blah. I said that is a damn lie. If you build it, they will come, and if you offer, they will sign up. And in that time frame, they are trying to create a workers and builders training program with the city of Detroit and with the training solutions. Now, I still have reservations because, why would it be so slow? And, you had all these opportunities where we had ARPA funding, the city budget, and also as well as the DWSD allocation for capital improvement. That's why we tell people to come to those meetings. Be involved in those meetings, because you need to know what they're doing in your neighborhood and how is it going to affect you in your community when they build these easements, when they build these new piping and such, and then all of a sudden you get low water pressure, but your neighbors built this high house and such on the land, and they're getting all the pressure. That ain't right. You know what I'm saying? So we want people, and most definitely I want to say federally right now. I have had some nights trying to figure out how to talk to this administration, and I'm a disability advocate in the daytime. And I'm very incensed and upset and want to wring the hell out of Robert Kennedy's neck for saying kids with autism is a disgrace. I will never, ever allow anyone in that position to say that to kids that need help and care and extra special attention from all of us. And kids with I represent children with autism. So I and intellectual disabilities and such that require the IEP that's not getting enough support systems in the city of Detroit. But I'm just saying all of this, to challenge the EPA to stop reversing the Biden era decisions to give us clean water, affordable water, and also to give us piping and such, to build infrastructure, and to make sure that we have the funding so that we are not getting our rates jacked up to fund the infrastructure as water departments love to run. And the Trump administration now cutting funding and cutting, different ideas and such. I have been really trying to figure out how to get to that. And if I have to put on a suit and go talk to the Prince of Evil myself, oh, God help me, in the name of Jesus, everything. I'm gonna have to do it because we need to get this funding. We need to get this money, and so that we can ensure that we're protected and safe. I can't trust our officials, Eagle and uh-oh.
No, you here. I just put you on the full
Oh,
screen.
I'm sorry. Oh,
You got
okay,
the
okay,
mic.
yeah, everybody. Thank you. Yeah. Oh, what's good? Is it, we run out of time? I'm sorry.
Wait a minute, what's going on here?
Okay. Yes.
No, we
So
hear
we're
me.
working on future. Yes. I was just to let you know we're working on future things. We're trying to navigate through because Hydrate Detroit isn't we don't get federal funding. We don't get state funding. We don't even get corporate funding. We get funding from the love and for people like you, all of you viewers and such that want to see a positive result in Detroit. But we're taking this a little step higher to where we would have to go to Washington, D.C., where we have to go across the country and let them know that there's a crisis that's in your community and we need to be proactive and aggressive about this. So I hope that hopefully sooner than later, you know what I'm saying, that while we're in this protest mania, we can protest about having clean water and affordable water at a price we all can pay and organize, because when we fight we win, and
Yeah,
that's a very big thing that carried the Detroit water movement through.
yeah. I know. I listen to Crystal sometimes and she talks about the water in Huron Valley. She said you can smell the mold. You can smell the what's in the water. The water comes out dirty and this is what they have for them to drink. But the people who work there have bottled water. And I'm like, isn't that a violation of their human and civil rights?
Yes, it is. They should be filing, if anybody's in there, they should be filing to the Michigan Civil Rights Commission, the human rights. I believe there's also the United States civil rights. If they haven't take that office out, I mean, you would have to take like a lot of proactive measures to go above the heads, and you might have to raise some money because they can cash out and spend money on misinformation and disinformation, social media advertising, videos and stuff. It's terrible. You know what I mean? How we have to be 10 times more aggressive than they are, where they could drop bundles of money into such. They can make decisions. The Huron Valley, I think that isn't that in Ann Arbor? Is that in Ann Arbor?
Yeah.
Right up the
Oh
street.
gosh. Oh my goodness, those liberals out there, they need to get themselves together. They need to cut that down immediately.
Right.
Oh, excuse me. I be in Ann Arbor, so I know for sure.
I live
I
here,
know.
AJ.
I know for sure there are some activists and folk that ain't allowing that to happen. That we don't hear from them. So J Love, you got something here if you bringing this to our attention, for us to know we can do something about it. But yes, I think that there needs to be complaints made about that. Also, the watershed council and such to go through those communities would be helpful as well. Bring it to the city council's attention. I was just in front of a group of people in Trenton, downriver area, with the hands off anti-Donald Trump movement, and sharing with them my experiences and stories of protesting and resistance. It's so different. I never thought we would be in this predicament. But I was sharing with them what their power is and how to have fun at it, but also, to make sure that they're seriously bringing about the issues and such, and they're educating people, and bringing a friend and doing the necessary uh, movements needed in order to represent that movement and make it stronger. So like I said, for the water movement in Detroit, Flint's next week is commemorating their water struggle. And I could just only pray to God and lay my head down at night that Detroit, and we were saved from the storm. Flint got worse, and Flint ain't fixed, and that could have been us as well. That this whole region needs to be proud that we're not in that predicament as well.
Beulah said,
Beulah said we're gonna. Beulah said she's gonna. We're gonna draft a letter for Huron Valley. We will do what we can. I will do see what I can do to get with my contacts in the environmental world out there.
yeah, because they got toxic mold, all kinds of mold in there, and the mold is even in the water, and it's all over in the showers. It hangs down like shag carpet, and when they take a shower, the molded stuff is just all over their bodies and everything.
Oh.
She said Flint water crisis was in 2016, still not fixed, and that's horrific.
Yes, that's true. Well, no, it started in 2014. And we had gotten a water conference. I did the first water press conference we did was in 2014, and that was with Highland Park, Flint, when we just discovered it. At that time, it blew up. And I'll never forget the Time cover of a young boy named Syer Johnson. And Syer Johnson captivated the world. Like we're United States of America living in a third world condition. What is going on here? Like, you know what I'm saying? It only in urban communities, and we're not the only community. Jackson, Mississippi has a lead problem, and they're almost like another Flint. New Jersey, Chicago, Atlanta, and even Memphis. So I'm trying my best to share what we know, and stuff with their community, but they're having the same problem. They can't get to certain folks. They can't make it an emergency concern. Their officials downplay and play it off and such. In Louisiana, you got people still affected by Hurricane Katrina that are not made whole, and they were gentrified. You know what I mean? And when you look at Black centers, environmental justice, like I said, if this happened in a white community such as Bloomfield Hills, Farmington, or Livonia, them people would be throwing chairs and tables at their city council meetings every night until it's fixed. And they when it comes to Detroit, Flint, and Benton Harbor, Reverend Edward Pinckney fighting for justice up there, and they're like, oh, well, your officials, you're all responsible for it, and AGLE want to play games as well. That's why I don't have no respect for AGLE. You know what I mean? As far as I'm concerned, AGLE is the middleman. You know what I'm saying? We look best out for our communities, but we shouldn't have to be buying bottled water for each other and living off of that when we should be demanding that the tap gets fixed.
Yeah, because they was even targeting Reverend Pinckney. They was, Reverend Pinckney talking about the water, and they was coming with criminal charges and stuff against him about allocating the water.
And it's a shame because Reverend Pinckney is the only one speaking out against injustice in Benton Harbor. And that's how we know that, when we hear updates from him, he has a podcast as well. Reverend Pinckney is still sharp. He is still speaking the truth, and he is still right as ever. And it's just sad because how many other community, we get so immersed in our community. And that's a thing of the water movement. We can get so immersed that if we look at Ireland, Ireland, I went to Ireland in 2014. They invited us as a delegation, talk about our water situation. They were fighting water charges. They were having water paid in their taxes. So they had free water. They want to take the water out of taxes and privatize it as a separate entity. And they had meetings. They had ride shares, transportation. They had a big protest that had over 100,000 people, and they suspended the water charges. It's still on the table. And then they have other issues such as housing and discrimination, and then also with no homes for women and children, but millionaires and billionaires in the land, they're getting, all this money for nothing. So, we have to remember that, as we go forward in our fight, think about others and remember where you've been. Remember where you've been, because before then, I don't even know, like before I woke up on my mother's couch, and hearing the news and hearing they're about to shut off water, and this shit is sending me into a spiral. I'm calling all my officials, city, mayor, council, ombudsman, anybody who listened to me to help me fix this situation and stop this. That's where it all started, number one. And then I had to tell my friends, share the story on my Facebook. I'm concerned about this. Will somebody join me and support me? That's two. Three, find out when the next water board meeting is. Okay, let me go to the water board meeting. Let me express my dissent, because if you turn off the water on all these people and such, we're gonna have a public safety hazard, and all of the and can they usually they wouldn't let things get this way, J Love, and unless they would go to lengths to help the people and give people an opportunity and a chance. They'll have a big fair at Cobo Hall, and we did that. We had a fair. 5,000 people showed up and showed out and got waivers for the next 2 weeks to handle their situation without having the water shut off. That was the only thing that we were able to do to save people. And even though if I said 90,000 when I went on Let It Rip to debate the water director, I said enough people will show up, and they did. And after that, more people started calling, and they were getting the waivers and payment plans. So, it's only so much that, we all can do, but it's also much what everybody can do.
Right. Right. Go ahead. Your mic's not on.
Oh, I'm sorry. Good. So I feel like I live in two worlds, or maybe three or whatever, but because I do live here in Ann Arbor, and so I'm involved in because I care about water, more so not just about water bills, but like the PFAS and the lakes where we have Gilman Science, who has dumped all this stuff in the water in Ann Arbor, and there's like decades of Black women who decades ago there were Black women that had like traces of rare forms of breast cancer. They were all like getting their water from that similar source. So right now, Earth Day is on Tuesday. So my day job, one of the things I'm doing is I have getting people organized for Earth Day. They go into Lansing and this and that, and they have these ideas about what's the top things, and we never make it to the top of the list, right? So they're talking about the dumping of waters, the PFAS, but the PFAS, one of the main things is water bottles, but we got people who rely on water bottles for their water.
PFAS, yes.
PFAS, yes. Yeah, so they're relying on that. But anyway, so then carbon taxes, it's made in such a way that it kind of moves it. The language excludes us from this water movement. Okay. Where there's thousands of people. There'll be thousands of people in Lansing tomorrow about water, and again on Tuesday.
Okay.
But they're not talking about the most direct issues that our folks are dealing with around water. How do you see us connecting better with that?
Yes, we have to connect most definitely on some issues that parallel in all of our fight for water. I mean, when we get to talk about water, we're very broad. Why are we fighting for water? What parts of water are we fighting for? It's not just affordability and reliability. It's also making sure we're accessible. And the only thing I know when I heard PFAS is Anthony Spinola. Anthony Spinola is the best expert I know in regards to PFAS, and it's everywhere. It's even in our plastics, our products. I thought in our food, and I'm a little nervous about that. So I need to know more information in order to, you know what I'm saying, be more aware. But yes, we need to seek out those and make sure that we're participatory in listening and where people have been. You know, you got people that have been fighting water over 20 years and haven't had their moment in the sun. We also have those that are newly environmental um, leaders, and they're hungry to teach people, you know, all about what's going on with our water and how to be zen and take our waters more spiritually. Also, I want to tell you this, Leslie, that I've been trying this year. I was trying to organize a conference to bring people together in certain areas of water to discuss where we are and what do we need to do to connect with each other and to build a stronger movement surrounding some of the issues around water. And I would like to make that happen for Hydrate Detroit's 10th anniversary. You know, we were all about conferences and education, which is a very big thing. I need kids. I need young kids to be water warriors and tree huggers. I
Yeah.
need black kids. I need black kids to learn about, you know, urban survival with Mama Shoe at the Avalon Village every summer.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We sponsor some of those kids to go, and it's very awesome. So yeah, I agree. We need to be more, and I want to talk to experts across the country, even those that have been fighting in different areas for water, environmental justice
So,
in other cities and towns.
thank you. So, one of the reasons I was asking about that, because not just local, like you said, it's all over. So, um, but because we're seen as like, or it feels as though we're kind of on the periphery of the climate action and environmental justice movement. When we talk about water for moms who can't afford their water bill, somehow that's not seen, or prisoners who can't have a shower. Like I know my son, he was like, you know, he didn't have hot water one week. It was something all the time with the water in the prisons, and they get a lot of money. You know, there's $35,000 a prisoner, and so but they're always playing, and it doesn't really matter who's in office because in Jackson, I want to say it was like 3 years ago. So we had our previous administration in, and I was part of the Black women's group. We helped get information about that. And what they did was they were saying, you know, a lot of the water is bad. We've had to pay all this exorbitant water bills. And, you know, in Jackson, in the Black part of Jackson, and we can't even use the water.
Mm-hmm.
So their solution was they wiped everybody's water bill clean. That included people who weren't even in bad water. They didn't address the actual pipes. They just wiped everybody's water bill clean.
Oh, okay.
You
So
know what I'm saying?
right, and you can't settle for you, man. I know a lot of people want a zeroed out balance, but you can't settle because that'll be the end all be all. They think in their minds, oh, we satisfied the people, we could just move on.
Exactly.
No, we ain't want no clean bill. We just want these pipes fixed, and then you clean our bill and make it right. That's crazy. And I'm fighting with so many water operators, directors, and finance people, even some of the administrative board members of some of these organizations that tell me, you know, oh, well, we've been at this, blah, blah, blah. Okay, but what have you done to been effective about it? You know what I mean? And what have you done to educate people about it? And why is it so hard for you to turn the page on doing the right thing? Some of them don't, Leslie. Some of them don't. And this is all, you know, when people getting them jobs, they don't know how to handle the job. They were just only there for the popularity and the flash of it all. So they're not going to make any changes. We have to do whatever we can to make sure we get the right people in there to make the changes. But also some of these environmental groups and organizations, I try to subscribe to the emails. I try to subscribe to the newsletters to keep informed, like Chalmers Water Project. The project with there was a project of I think it was Earthships in Detroit, and they were concerned about environmental justice. The Greenways Coalition. I also try to check in with Ann Arbor for Power, and they know organizations and they keep in touch. And then I also speak at Skyline High School in Ann Arbor every year with their Black Student Union, and I talk to the kids about water and environmental justice. And the first question I'm asked by those kids is, what can we do to get involved? I said, hell yes. That's it, and the work still continues. We have to be positive, not make it so hard, but also we have to be proactive and use people where they are. If you have a certain talent, you have a certain specific niche, that's what we're looking for. And then we can go forward with building on a movement that's going to be worthy for all.
So out here in Redford, we have a water issue, lead in the pipes. And so there was a big thing going on. They kind of shushed it down now, but they were giving out filters and saying that the kids can't use the water to brush their teeth. But the seniors, they were upset because, like, we're seniors. Shouldn't we have filters? And they only was giving out filters to pregnant women and children, or people who had children. That's it. So I
heard about Redford. Redford had been having problems for years. I would get phone calls from people from Redford with high water bills, and I haven't gotten the chance to get out there. But I've been, what I would do when people would call me from other areas, jurisdictions, and such. I get on the phone. I do what I do, with them in tow. We try to figure out what we can do to, prevent. But most places in the state of Michigan, they don't shut off water. They don't shut off water. Dearborn don't shut off water. Redford tells me they don't shut off water, but they allow people to get into payment plan, and you have to use the RAP. So I told people. So I told people. Say it again.
They shut the water off out here. They shut off people water.
Is it for non-payment, and how much would it be? Okay.
It would be for non-payment, but they also put it in like in the tax bill, and so
right.
If they can roll it into the tax bill, that's what they'll do. But
it is so. I was going to say it's so much a problem that they continue to threaten people with shutting off water, and yet when people do pay the water bill or they pay that fee to turn it back on, that's wasted money. That's wasted money. You get to send the water shut off man to come out there and turn your water off. Then you got to send them back out there and turn the water back on. That's a waste of money. That's a waste of time. It shouldn't even happen like that.
You said about the water being spiritual, and I think that people don't know that our bodies is like 70-80% water. And so we need water just to, survive. Our brain needs water to function. And so if we're drinking contaminated water, and you're talking about lead in the water and kids taking baths in lead water, that water, your skin is like the biggest sponge ever. Everything goes to the skin. So when they're like saying, hey, we're giving you filters, but what about my bathtub? What about when I'm cooking? So I mean, here I just have bottled water throughout the house. I buy big, containers. But I mean, I'm all for like getting a whole water system or whatever, because who can you trust? Who can you
trust? You go. I'm glad you said that, because I'm not supposed to say anything about this, but I am looking into partnering with a water system provider. and we would select certain homes that would have a water system in their homes versus the tap. And I feel it's very important because we want people to drink clean water. And I was asked by a friend of mine because she noticed in my home there were so many water bottles that I had. And she was like, "Why you keep drinking bottled water?" I said, "Because I don't trust the water here. So I have to cook out of bottled water. I have to use distilled water and such like that. And it's
Yeah.
sick. It's sick. I never thought we would have to live like this. And you got Absapure, you got Absapure, the Culligan man, all of that. They can do, all that work and such, but they want all this money. They don't want to subsidize or look out for the hood. Hey, but I say
Right.
this, I was like, I want to make sure that we have because as me getting into water development, I'm learning a lot of things about osmosis, alkaline, pH
Yes.
balance. I'm also
Yes.
learning about the hydration factor because when you drink water, it should quench your thirst. It should not
Right.
make you thirsty, and it
Right.
should replenish you immediately. Be it if you're dehydrated as hell, you dehydrated from the heat, that water should be able to replenish your electrolytes and such, so
Right.
that you could have balance and focus. And I do want people to have more balance and focus. I need people to drink more water instead of drinking all the pop, alcohol, and
Right.
the sweets, the sweet
Right. You
juices
need
and such.
the water
I
that help
that
with the kidneys to fit through the kidneys. And so if you putting all this stuff in there, you're messing up your body anyway. But even my dog, I give her filter. I mean distilled water. I don't give
oh
her sink water,
yeah,
because I can't trust it. I'm not
and
getting
I
her
know
that.
where
I'm
where
not
the kid
getting
and let me just say, let me put all of us in check. I know we're the kids that drink from the hose.
Yeah.
Okay, I know we're the kids that drink from the hose, but this is different than drinking from the hose. Okay,
Yes.
it ain't safe to drink from the hose no more.
You better not.
No, because
Uh,
when you see the pipes that come out when you see the pipes that come out the ground,
yeah.
um, it is so disgusting. That's all sorts of bacteria, lead, and such. And where we end up fighting is they want to make us pay for the funding instead of applying for the grants and the permits and such. They could do that, and what I'm saying, but we got to put an investment. We've invested more than enough in our water system. What are we getting out of it? We're paying salaries. We're paying fees. We're paying on infrastructure that's never. We don't even have a clear check across our state what has benefited for our communities.
Hmm.
So if we're paying the bill, we're paying the tab. I need ROI. I need receipts, and I need to see line items and where those projects are today.
Right.
Is our people being hired on those jobs? If you give away all this contract money and such to outside companies, they're out of state, they're not going to have the same care and consideration as
Right.
our people do. So I'm just saying, we have a lot. We have a lot to do, but the work is never done. If we're just gonna right now for Hydrate, I know for myself and Beulah Walker, I want to thank her for being in my corner when we started this thing in 2016, and I just want to thank her from the center of my heart as a vice chief director, um, and also for all her efforts. That lady cares about the city of Detroit. She cares enough
Yeah.
about us where some of our clients don't even answer the phone when we call at any given time. We'll call at 2:00 in the morning. We don't care where you at. We will call you. We will find you. You know what I mean? And we're going to take care of you. And for the commitment that we've given to the city of Detroit, we hope that we can do that, spreading across, going across from, the region and also to the United States. We have to grow beyond this.
Yeah. Reverend Tia, did you want to ask a question?
Yes, you know what I was going to say was I love the content and really love what you're doing in the community. And I really wanted to know, like for children, the average 7-year-old, how can we educate? What do we educate them on? You know, and it's so much to do when it comes to the youth and to families, because you know they don't know enough about water, and the fact that even the water we do get, even when it's clean, doesn't have the essential minerals in it that we actually need for our body. You know, and a lot of that. So when you talk about educating young people, can you just give me a quick spiel on what is the content of that education for our listeners?
Discussing water and its importance and what they feel about water. Learning about what a child knows about water is everything. And children are very, very smart. When they know that they need water to bathe, they need water to drink, and they need water to live. When you ask them, what does water do? You know, they'll tell you, little answers and such, and you get them to expound on what they know. And that's how we can interport. That's how we can teleport our information. But I don't try to make it too heavy. I try not to make it too heavy for many of us that get tired of talking about water. But I just want to expound on where they are and work with where they are and get them to see the importance of water as a whole. So if I'm trying to teach, so if I'm in the classroom for the kids, you know what I'm saying, I want to know what each of them think about water, what water is important for them. I just try to play off what they know about water, but they never thought, and it's sad, they never thought that water was important because some of them didn't have water. They shared that with me. And some of it get a little raw. I try to lighten the mood up again, and it's a challenge for me after learning upon that some kids don't get a shower. They have to, bounce to place. But some kids are spoiled. And we know that I want to play on what you know about water, and also, expand on certain things to why you should be fighting for water. And some of them, God bless their hearts, all you can do is share your story, draw, and use your artistic expressions. You know what I'm saying? For us to get our children to understand the importance of security around water, I just want to be at where they are and take it from there. And those kids are learning about life straws. They're learning about what to do if they're in the woods, and to see their faces when you have to tell them to use the life straw in order to drink into the creek of the water. Their reactions is, and you tell them to do it. We do them at the hood camp. Mrs. Taylor, Reverend Taylor, the hood camp, Mama Shu expands on all of this. And we tell them I also tell parents, I try to make sure to get the date, and to, we sponsor about 2-3 kids into hood camp. So it's a big deal, like for all of us to, just try to take water easily and carefully with kids and young people. For my high school, my middle school, high school people, I tried to, make a story and such, and try to get them to understand the significance of why it's important to fight for water. And I got young people ready and willing to do what they can, but we all just have to come together to coalesce on the idea and the plan and carry it out. And I'm pretty sure that we will win this war.
Oh, I love it. That's awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Sorry, Reverend. I want you to just talk about a little bit about how important it is for us to advocate for the water. A lot of us live in areas. A lot of this seems so intentional, right? Because, like you said earlier, if you go in West Bloomfield, you don't hear those people talking about water. Like they're not having these same issues as we have it in the urban areas. So why is it, is it important? Because, we'll have this conversation here and people just, really, it'll be a second thought to them because we don't really think about how important it is. But why
And that's the
should we
problem.
be
It has to stop being a second thought, and it has to be
right?
the first and foremost. And for people that don't have these issues, I know certain people that boat and lake on our Michigan lakes and waters. And it's very important to keep those waters and those streams clean and clear, especially when you're getting out in them. I know
Mhm.
that we are the Great Lakes state. We have the world's freshest body of water. It's very important to keep that close. The president that we have today, that man would steal our water and would sell it and at a high price to thirsty individuals. And we have to protect our waterways from that happening. I mean, I stress enough to people. I said if they were to shut the water off or they were to poison the water supply, we all would be hit and we wouldn't know what to do. You know what I'm saying? They could use water um, as a bio threat. I tell people all the time, if you don't get involved, you'll be next on the menu. What else is
Mhm.
going to be? What else is going to be there? If they get far with this, you know what I'm saying? So I just implore people. You can get involved with Hydrate Detroit. You can volunteer and give people credits through their work through probationary activity and such. They need the credits. We
Mhm.
also gave, opportunities for people to learn about how to fight for water. And I told people as much as I can, if it's not one thing, it's everything. So you should just get involved just for the hell of it and the sake of it, so that when it comes time to get ready, we don't have to. We stay ready because we're already expecting on what's to come.
Yeah. Go ahead, Leslie.
Um, no, I'm again thinking about what you said, and that's the thing for me is this is everybody's issue, right? And we have to. There is a water movement, and billions of dollars gone to all different states over the last 10 years on water. We're just not part of that water and environmental justice movement. Like it's not trickling down to us or whatever. So because of our current administration, I feel like we have to appeal to these organizations somehow. Like we need to be on, if you got a list of 4 things, we need to be on the short list of things that you're looking at.
Mm-hmm.
Because we are getting left behind. In Michigan is a climate refuge. That's what
Mm-hmm.
I'm concerned about.
Yeah. Yes. The more awareness that we can build around the federal constitutional crisis in Michigan, the more better that we can organize. Um, I never thought we would be into this, and it's sleepless days and nights of wondering what's going to happen. How are we going to get through this situation? And it's a long 4 years, that could have forever implications. It already is. President Trump has enabled the Keystone Pipeline. We wanted that taken out of here. He also has given cover to Line 5, Enbridge, Line 5 in Michigan. And, if I get scared every day that if anything were to happen to that, it would rupture, and then we would have an oil spill throughout throughout the lake, the Mackinac Lakes, Michigan. I just can't take that. We also have, the Gulf oil spill still unresolved. People that were responsible have not been put in jail and have not been held accountable. and also the EPA director, is a donor of Donald Trump and has no experience within water, health, and safety. Neither does the Health and Human Services Director, RFK. He doesn't have any experience. He's supposed to be an environmental lawyer. So I just implore everyone, we have to stick with our Native American brothers and sisters, and also those within the movement, and let me just also speak to this in regards to Black climate justice versus the climate justice that we all see. When you talk about Black climate justice, we don't get enough support from the climate justice leaders and such. Black people believe in climate change as well, and we do believe that we have to have protections and such, so we don't get left behind. And I can never get over to those brothers and sisters to let them know that any decision that you all make has to include us as well, and we need to be at the table. So Leslie and Jay, we could all make the difference, just by learning, researching, and keeping upon our belt all the knowledge, armed at keeping our water safe, but most definitely representing for urban communities that don't have a voice in front of these climate marchers, justice, and folks. I mean, if I could get the support of Greta Thunberg, climate justice warrior, I'm pretty sure we're going to be going somewhere.
Yes.
So are there supposed to be protests this weekend?
Yes, there are.
So here in Michigan as well?
Yes.
So good, because I have a little today is I want to play this video for those who are going to be protesting this weekend.
It's lovely talking to you as always.
Oh, hello.
We were just talking about you kids.
I'm Denise Heberly.
And I'm Bill Goodman.
Together, we've been fighting fascism for over 50 years.
And so much has changed over those 50 years, such as the ingredients to a successful firebomb.
And the glass that bank windows are made of.
But there's one thing that hasn't changed over 50 years, something that is so important to tell you kids who are new to this movement.
Shut the fuck up. You're sitting in the police transport van after a protest?
Shut the fuck up. In a holding cell with your comrades?
Shut the fuck up. Cop knocks on your door?
Shut the fuck up.
Texting on an unsecured device?
Shut the fuck up. Pulled over by the cops after a protest?
Shut the fuck up. Cop just asking about your day?
Shut the fuck up. Feds, call your mom?
Tell your mother to shut the fuck up.
Now, repeat after me. When the cops come calling, what do you do?
Shut the fuck up!
It's Shut the Fuck Up Friday, and I'm Richie Serjanko, your host, friendly neighborhood lawyer, ready to give advice to some of you that may be hitting the streets, protesting for what's right, and defending what you believe in. First things first, shut the fuck up. The police are not your friends. They are not there to protect you. They are looking for information and gathering things to use against you. You are a target to the state when you take action. If you get pulled over by the police after a protest, shut the fuck up. If the police call you, shut the fuck up. If you're stopped by the police on the streets after a protest, minding your own business while you have a ski mask on, shut the fuck up. Do not engage with them. All you say is, am I being detained? Am I free to go? If you're not free to go, then you must shut the fuck up.
Oh, Bill Goodman and Julie, are treasures and are. Wow! Shout out to them. They have kept my black ass out of jail from Black Lives Matter. Wow.
Yes. So yeah, that's true. Everybody that's gonna be out there, remember to shut the fuck up.
Absolutely. Listen, I am still on rest. I am part of the 92% that is resting. So I'm going to give my kudos, my well wishes and hopes to those that are protesting, and pray for them to advance to a higher consciousness. You know what I mean? Because we've done that, and you know, as much as I um, agree, you know, I was a protester in Trump Part One, and I'll put my life on the line for civil rights, for the new modern civil rights movement. Dr. King would have been proud of us for standing up through all of those times in Charlottesville and Washington, fighting racists and Nazis, and you know, we did the impeachment march in 2018. And I told people, we can't do that. We can't go back and forth with each other. You know, that's what they want us to do. We have to focus that back on the establishment. And you know, I'm just at a point of, you know, I tried the best I knew how. And, you know, since we don't get respect from politicians, why should we respect politicians? You know, they're just like us. I'm not enriching anyone's lifestyle other than mine and my house. And that's horrible to have people literally vote or not vote, and stick you with the suffering. And I'm gonna fight those people every day. You know what I'm saying? That if you voted, even if you did vote, if you didn't vote, and you can't complain, you can't say anything to me. You know what I'm saying? You can't talk to me about nothing, because you were the one that put us in this situation. So, but I can't go off, you know, fighting and sticking my fingers and blaming on folk. I can just only do what I can to protect my peace, my sanity, and to fight for the issue that I know that we can win. So yes, I support others, but the Black community, we still have a lot of work to do, because we should be protesting for different things. We should be protesting for different issues. And we should be protesting for whatever to break the chains out of, however, that's a spillover oppression. The fact that they can charge Carmelo Anthony and make him a make him a poster boy all over the world, but yet they won't charge the other young man, and they hold him up as a hero. I can't stand that, and we still have a lot to do. We still have a lot to do. And even in the water movement, you know, to where, you know, communities, we still have a disconnect of I don't know how to say this. We still have a disconnect of white communities that don't want affordable water. They want clean water, but they don't want to give Black people affordable water. Then when we say, you know, we want everybody to have affordable water, they don't want to pay the cost of the $2 fee on the water meter to help their citizens that are in trouble. Okay, that would be a fund. That'd be a separate fund, but the $2 wouldn't even be coming out of your bill. It'll be coming off of your allocation. For how much you pay. We used to have that in the city of Detroit, where you would donate money to pay on someone else's water bill. It wouldn't be a problem. So no, that's what I'm saying. We have too many issues to fight that. But I mean, as much as I can connect with you, as you connect with me, and we connect with each other, and we can connect with all of our other friends that are fighting in different areas, we can all come together and we can use those powers for good. We just have to unite, put the ring together, put your fist and your rings together, and let's unite together.
Super friends.
We're super friends.
My daughter called us the Justice League. But
yes, we are the Justice League. Exactly. We will shut down hate rallies. We kick Nazis in the balls, and we take on powers of white supremacy. That's what the Justice League does.
Yes. So I just want to thank you for joining us, to having this conversation, because it's much needed, you know, and it goes along with the abolition movement, because, you know, in order to to get to a place where we don't have prisons and we don't have all of that stuff, we had to fix some of the things that's causing us so much harm and causing us to be in these spaces of desperation. And so I thank you for that. I see Reverend Tia finally got her face on here. But yeah, we do need to have these, and that's why we come here on Fridays, because not to force our opinions on people, but to just get people to think and have these conversations. So you can have these conversations with your family, because yes, I know that we're on break and we're got our cowboy boots and our fans and we, got our boots on the ground, but we still have to have these conversations because this is important. And those people that are out here protesting, those are the people that got to fix the problem that we're in right now. And we have to work on our problems while we're taking our break. So
yes, absolutely. Thank you. And thank you for saying that, especially because evil never sleeps. Evil organizes even while you all are doing the boots on the ground with the fan dance and such. That's exactly what they want, so that they can organize against you. But you got people like us, or your viewers and listeners, who stay ready, who stay on guard, stay on watch, even if it's 2 o'clock in the morning, and also prayer makes a lot of a difference.
Yes,
Keep your mind centered, and also continue doing the good, because if you seek out good stories, good will happen to you, and you can learn and inspire yourself and re-energize by learning of another way to combat some of the issues that we have in our communities. I mean, we're all neighbors, and nobody is better than one another. I tell people all the time, it could not be you today, it could be someone else, and it could affect you because it affected someone else. So don't let it be you. Nip that in the bud right now. And finally, I just want to say, I want to thank everybody that's watching, that's been a supporter of Hydrate Detroit for all these years. I just want to thank God for being the head and center of my life, and Beulah Walker, Jeff Robinson, Rilo Vermilia, Auntie Nay. I want to thank Mama Shu, a couple other people that have countlessly made the mark for this organization. And please, if you all can, send us some money. Send us some money so we can continue this work. It is costly. The gas, the mileage, going to these meetings. I'm trying to minimize them, but, we have to be out there at every turn. So go to www.hydratedetroit.org, and you could hit the big blue donate button to support our work. And we thank you so very much. Because I wouldn't do this work without the support and the love of the people. That's really needed for sure.
Yeah. Amen. So I also want to remind everyone that this weekend is our wrongful conviction task force and group support group meeting on this Saturday. And for the task force meeting, I guess Andy, the hood candidate, is going to be back. He's going to be talking about Crystal. And also, I want to remind everyone, and why also I have you here, Miko, about our Juneteenth celebration that's going on. Survivor Speak, Trishay, and others who are put this together. This is the 5th year of the Juneteenth celebration in Ann Arbor. And so Saturday, Lady Sunshine and the X Band is going to be there. And then on Sunday, Fred Hammond, she has a total lineup. And while I'm saying Fred Hammond, here's Fred Hammond.
Ypsilanti, this is your man, Uncle Fred. Fred Hammond is in the building. Listen, I'm on the way. I'm coming. That's right, we on the way. Juneteenth weekend. We showing up. We're going to show on out. So come on out and hang out with your mans and them and many other people that's going to be there. And we just going to have an amazing time. Looking forward to coming back to the crib. That's right, because you know y'all were just up the road. I used to hang out in Ypsilanti a little bit here and there. And, you know, but listen, I look forward to seeing you all. Let's have a great time. Peace.
I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at you.
Yes, so meet us out in Ipsy, save the day, and come and join us at the Juneteenth celebration. And I just thank you. And so I want to leave out on, I talked to Crystal today, and although she's been so excited about, you know, the outcome of our conversation, our community conversation, she has, she's really sick, you guys. She's really sick. And the conversation me and her had today was really hard to hear. And at first I wasn't going to play it, but I decided that we need to know. We need to know what's going on, and we need to hear in Crystal's own words. So I'm going to leave us, we're going to leave tonight listening to Crystal. And I just want to thank you again, Miko,
Thank
and
you.
Beulah, because Beulah was
Thank
here.
you for having us. Thank
Yes,
you
you've been
all.
lighting up.
Yeah.
And if you all have any questions or so, I am available to come back again whenever you decide to have me back.
Oh yeah, we definitely gonna have you back because we need, you know, we need to really be really on top of this water situation in our community. So yes,
Absolutely. Thank you so much, ladies. Have a good night. Thank you.
Thank
yeah, and
you.
so we're gonna leave with and I want everyone to just listen to Crystal and
doing more. They could be doing more. Like, it's a shame when you go to a hospital and they don't help. You just sit there and let you sit and suffer and send you back. No. I've been fighting for 15 years, y'all. I'm tired. The way that the inside, my body, like, the headaches, they haven't went away. Like, I just feel so different, and I keep on telling them my chest. Something not right, and the stuff I'm breaking up, they know what it is. They know what it is. And don't do anything. Not do anything. I'm just sitting around here and get suffering, got to put on the act and stay strong like I'm doing good, and I'm not. Oh my God, I'm telling y'all, something's just not right. I just feel so different. And I don't even try not to put so much stress on y'all. I just feel so different. The fear. I'm telling y'all, they wait around, it's going to be too late, and it's going to be their fault when they could have helped. They could have helped me. Why they won't help me? What did I do to them? Nothing. But spoke the truth and told what was going on with me and asked them for help. And still not do anything. All this talking, everything we doing, they know. They know. When are you going to take action? When are you going to take action to do anything? You could have sent somebody here. You see my medical records. Y'all signed for it. Y'all had me to sign a release one over a year ago. Y'all know what's going on. And y'all know also how the prisons run. Put false information when you really sick. Change your records when you really sick. They ain't like they don't know what's going on. They all working together and they all should be in bars. Should nobody have to sit in bed for help and tell them that something is wrong and get ignored and made to be crazy. This is not right. This is not right. My kids, my grandbabies, this is not right, y'all. This is not right. I'm tired of feeling like this. I'm tired of going through this. I'm looking at what's going on. Like, you can actually see it. You can actually feel it. Just my body, my ears, everything. You can just feel everything. Ain't nothing to be done. This is wrong. It's totally wrong. You gotta put a smile on your face when somebody talk to you. But when you go to them for help and telling them something's wrong, you need to go. They don't care you need help. Everybody too, they nose up and don't want to help at you like you crazy. But they all in on this. They all is in on this. This not right. And I'm so tired.
You have 1 minute remaining.
Tired. What is hard about helping somebody? Unless everybody, they know about it. It's no faking. It's no faking the fuck like they ain't heard. They don't know. They all know. They know. And choose not to do anything. Just choose to sit and let me sit here and die because that's what they want. They ain't trying to help me. They not. Let's face the fact, they not trying to help me. But I wanted to get a call to tell y'all. I can't keep on ignoring. I just can't. I'm trying. There's nothing. They cricket here. The word they cricket. I asked all of them.
Thank you for using GTL.
Little light of just little light of mine. I'm gon' let it shine. I'm gon' let it shine. Just little light of mine. Just little light of mine. I'm gon' let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gon' let it shine. I'm gon' let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gon' let it shine. I'm gon' let it shine. Oh Lord, just let it shine. This light of mine, this light of mine. Oh Lord, would you please just let it shine. Take the drama out of my life. Oh Lord, every night the pain ain't right. I wake up at night, I never sleep. 26, 10, and 7, that's just me. Every day I need a little seed. I need a little fresh air, man, I need to breathe. All I know is trauma, all I know is tickets. All I know is no visit. All I know is a mission to get straight up out of prison. Lord have mercy for it. Lord have mercy on my people. Preacher Mary Washington and all my real. Lord have mercy with my people. I pray to God, we really need you. When I was down bad, when things weren't going right, every time I prayed at night, I put my hands up in my face. I said, Lord have mercy, little light of mine. Lord God, please let it shine. It's the drama that I live in my life. I swear to God, I was a bad guy every night. 10 toes down, salute. Everybody suffering, everybody who trying to make a way. Everybody looking for the sky, everybody looking for that piece of pie. In a law library, I know what that feel like. Hoping that somebody get active and involved in your situation. Man, pop your collar and pray. Cause Lord have mercy on my soul. And make bad guy father get out soon. And the rest of those brothers who be mobbing to child each morning. Oh man, I ain't going to this afternoon. Man, I'ma miss dinner today. I got a couple noodles. You know what that feel like? Yeah, you know what it is. And if you a victim of a wrongful conviction, suffered and served by Ken Worthy, then I know that you know what that pain feel like. And your mama know what that pain feel like. Your father know what that pain feel like. With that light, let that little shine. Let that light shine, a little light of mine. Bad guy, Doughboy Week, all these great people in this great world of ours. 10 toes down, salute. I appreciate you, bad guy. I appreciate you, Week. I appreciate the tech. I appreciate everybody in the studio. We gonna pop off that LV. Ooh-wee.
cause that's what they be liking to see. But I hope you hear the missing when you see me fresh. Salute.